Okay, so GSI Technology, they just got this contract with the U.S. Army
Yeah.
for Edge AI, but it's only for $250,000.
Right.
So it seems kind of small, right?
Oh, yeah, and I think that's what has everybody so interested right now. Investors are going crazy for GSI.
Right.
And it might be because this tiny contract is like a little hint
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
a much larger shift.
Okay.
You know how we think about AI moving away from these big, huge models?
Yeah.
Like ChatGPT?
Right. So you think this is where GSI's APU chip comes in?
Exactly.
The one that everyone's saying is like perfect for this new type of AI,
Yeah.
like a new approach.
Yeah, the APU, or the Associative Processing Unit, is designed for a totally different approach.
Okay.
It's all about speed and efficiency.
Right.
So think like lightning-fast searches through massive data sets,
Right.
but without needing a giant data center to power it.
Right.
So we don't have that huge energy requirement.
Okay, interesting. So we've got all these articles, earnings calls.
Yeah.
You even sent over some tech videos. It's all about GSI and this APU.
Right.
Let's dive in and see if this little chip is really as big of a deal as everyone says it is.
All right, so let's start with GSI themselves.
Okay.
They've been around for a while now, mostly known for their work in memory solutions.
Right.
So think like SRAM technology
Okay.
and those really durable memory chips that they make for like spacecraft and satellites.
Yeah. That's that they can like survive in crazy environments.
Exactly.
Right. But it seems like their traditional business isn't doing that well.
Right.
They're betting big on this APU.
Yeah.
Specifically the Gemini line, I think is what they call it.
Yeah, their Gemini line to turn things around.
Okay.
It's a gamble.
Yeah.
That could pay off big time.
And it's designed to solve what problem?
The problem is how to search through massive amounts of data without using a ton of energy.
Okay.
Think like facial recognition or DNA sequencing.
Right.
Anything where you need to find like a needle in a digital haystack.
Right. So how does it work?
Okay, so the key here is that the APU puts the processing power right inside the memory array.
Okay.
So imagine like a library where every single book can think and search for information.
Right.
You don't have to waste time running back and forth to like a central computer or something.
Interesting. So it's not moving back and forth between memory and processor.
Exactly. And that's where the von Neumann bottleneck comes in.
Yeah.
It's this fundamental limitation of traditional computer architecture where data has to constantly be moved between the memory and the processor.
Yeah.
It's like trying to get everyone in a city across like a single bridge during rush hour.
Yeah.
It just creates this massive traffic jam.
Right. And the APU sidesteps that.
Exactly. It combines like the brains and the memory into one.
Okay.
And that's why it's so much faster and more efficient.
Okay.
GSI claims their APU can find a match in a billion record facial recognition database in 1.25 milliseconds. Compared to like 125 milliseconds for a standard server.
That's a huge difference.
100 times faster.
Okay. I'm starting to see why people are excited.
Yeah.
What does this have to do with the U.S. Army?
Okay.
This small contract.
Yeah.
Where does Edge AI fit into all of this?
Well, Edge AI is all about bringing the processing power closer to where the data is actually being generated.
Okay.
So instead of relying on some giant data center miles away, you have AI that runs directly on devices, like in self-driving cars or smart home gadgets.
So it's like having a mini brain like right where you need it.
Yeah.
You don't have to rely on the cloud.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's where the APU really shines.
Okay.
It's small, it's energy efficient, and it's crazy fast.
It's a perfect combo for Edge AI.
Yeah, the perfect combo for Edge AI applications.
Okay. Starting to connect the dots here.
Yeah.
So this Army contract, even though it's relatively small, it could be a sign that they're testing out the ATU for all sorts of applications where Edge AI is really important.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it proves itself in the field, who knows how big those contracts could get.
Right.
I mean, the military is a massive market.
Right.
This could be the beginning of something huge for GSI.
I'm definitely intrigued. What about this idea of like a paradigm shift in AI?
Yeah.
What makes you think the APU is at the heart of that?
We've been talking about the limitations of those big AI models, the ones that need massive data centers and tons of energy.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable in the long run.
Right. You're talking about those huge language models like ChatGPT.
Right, exactly.
The ones everyone's been going crazy for.
Right.
But what's the alternative?
Yeah.
What's like the next step in AI?
That's where this idea of spatial AI comes in.
Spatial AI. Oh.
Yeah, it's a way of thinking about AI that's more like how our brains work.
Okay.
Where information is organized and processed in a way that reflects the real world.
Okay, you're going to have to break that down for me a little bit.
Okay.
What does spatial even mean in this context?
Think about it this way. Our brains don't just process like raw data.
Yeah.
They understand relationships, context, cause, and effect.
Right.
Spatial AI aims to do the same thing by creating a kind of digital map of the world with all its complexities and connections.
So instead of just crunching numbers,
Yeah.
it's about understanding meaning and relationships.
Yes.
Is that what makes it so different from these giant language models?
Exactly. Those big models are great at like mimicking human language, but they don't really understand what they're saying.
Okay.
Spatial AI is about building a deeper level of understanding, which could lead to more intelligent and reliable decision-making.
And how does GSI's APU fit into all of this?
Yeah.
Is it specifically designed for spatial AI?
Well, it's not specifically designed for spatial AI,
Okay.
but its capabilities like perfectly align with what spatial AI needs.
Right.
Remember, the APU is all about speed and efficiency.
Yeah.
It can process information and make decisions in real time, which is crucial for AI that needs to interact with the real world.
So if this APU is so revolutionary, why isn't everyone using it already?
Well, for one thing, it's a new technology.
Okay.
It takes time for developers to figure out how to use it effectively and build applications around it.
Right. It's like having a brand new tool.
Exactly.
You need to learn how to use it
Yeah.
before you can really harness its power.
You need developers to build cool apps.
Yeah.
But developers might be hesitant to jump in if they don't see a market for it yet.
Right. It's like a chicken and egg problem.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's why this Army contract is so significant.
Yeah.
It shows that a major player, like the U.S. military, is taking the APU seriously and exploring its potential for real-world applications.
Like a vote of confidence that could encourage more developers to like take notice and start building.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there's another company that's betting big on GSI and the APU.
Oh, yeah.
Versus AI.
Versus AI.
Yeah. They're like a key player in this whole spatial AI movement.
Oh,
and they see the APU as a crucial part of their vision.
You mentioned them earlier. They're the ones who created that genius platform, right?
That's right.
The one that beat OpenAI's model at playing those old Atari games.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't just a publicity stunt.
Okay.
It was a demonstration of how powerful and efficient the APU can be.
Wow.
Even when compared to those massive energy-hungry models.
And they did that all on just a regular laptop.
On a laptop.
Not a giant supercomputer.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's why Versus AI is so excited about the APU.
Okay.
They see it as like a key enabler for their vision of the future, where AI is embedded in like everything around us.
Wow.
Making our lives easier and more connected.
I'm starting to get the big picture here.
Yeah.
So we have this new way of thinking about AI.
Right.
Spatial AI.
Yeah.
And this new chip, the APU, that seems to be perfect for it.
Yeah.
And we've got companies like Versus AI.
Right.
And even the U.S. Army starting to invest in this technology.
Exactly.
It sounds like we might really be on the cusp of like a major shift in how we think about and use AI.
And this shift isn't just about making AI faster or more efficient.
Okay.
It's about creating AI that's more trustworthy, more reliable, and more aligned with human values.
So it's not just about the technology itself,
right,
but how it's used.
Exactly.
What kind of future we want to create with it.
Precisely. And that brings us to GSI's recent financial performance.
Okay.
Because if they're going to lead this AI revolution, they need to be in a strong position financially.
All right, let's take a look at those numbers.
Okay.
What's the financial story behind GSI's big bet on the APU?
Well, their latest earnings report shows that their traditional memory business is struggling.
Okay.
Revenue is down.
Yeah.
And they're facing stiff competition from bigger players.
Right, so they're really pinning their hopes on the APU to turn things around.
In a way.
It's a make or break moment for them.
Yeah, but they've also been investing heavily in research and development.
Okay.
Particularly in their APU technology.
Okay.
They're clearly betting on the long game here, believing that the APU will eventually become a major revenue driver.
It's a risky strategy.
Yeah.
But it could pay off big time.
Yeah, if the APU really does become like the go-to chip for this new wave of AI.
There's a new wave of AI. And don't forget, they've got versus AI in their corner.
Exactly.
Versus AI's investment in GSI is a
Yeah.
sign that they believe in the technology.
Right.
Okay, so we've got the technology, the vision, and the financial backing.
Yeah.
But what about the practical side of things?
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that GSI faces in bringing this technology to market and making it a success?
One of the biggest challenges is awareness.
Correct.
Most people, even in the tech world,
Yeah.
haven't heard of the APU or spatial AI.
Right.
GSI needs to do a better job of explaining what this technology is and why it matters.
It's like they're speaking a different language.
Yeah.
One that most people don't understand yet.
Exactly.
How do you get people excited about something they've never even heard of?
It's tough, but they're starting to make some progress.
Okay.
They've been presenting at conferences, doing interviews, even creating videos to explain the APU and its potential.
It's going to take a lot of education and outreach
Yeah, it is.
to get people on board. But if they can successfully communicate the value of this technology,
Right.
it could have like a ripple effect throughout the entire AI industry.
Absolutely. And here's another challenge.
Okay.
GSI is a relatively small company
Right.
going up against some giants in the tech world.
Yeah.
Companies like NVIDIA, Intel have been dominating the AI chip market for years.
Right. So it's David versus Goliath.
Yeah, kinda.
But maybe being smaller and more agile gives GSI an advantage.
That's a good point.
They can be more innovative
Yeah.
and take risks that those bigger companies might shy away from.
And remember, they're not trying to compete head-on with those giants.
Okay.
They're focusing on a specific niche,
Oh.
edge AI and spatial AI,
Okay.
where their technology really shines.
It's like finding a gap in the market and filling it
Exactly.
with a product that's perfect for that need.
Exactly. And that niche could become a very large market very quickly,
Nice.
especially as more and more devices become intelligent and connected.
Okay. So we've talked about the challenges that GSI faces.
Yeah.
But what about the bigger picture?
Okay.
What are the potential benefits of this shift towards spatial AI and edge computing?
The possibilities are vast.
Okay.
Imagine a world where AI is seamlessly integrated into our lives,
Okay.
helping us to be more efficient, more productive, and more connected.
Not just in our homes and offices, but like out in the world.
Yeah.
In our cities, our transportation systems, even our healthcare.
Exactly. Spatial AI could revolutionize the way we design and manage our cities, making them more sustainable, more livable, and more responsive to the needs of their citizens.
And what about the impact on like our personal lives?
Yeah.
How could spatial AI change the way we interact with technology and with each other?
Well, think about how we navigate the world now using maps and GPS systems.
Right.
Spatial AI could take that to a whole new level,
Okay.
creating like a personalized digital assistant
Okay.
that understands your needs,
Yeah.
anticipates your wants, and helps you to navigate the world in a more intuitive and efficient way.
It's like having a personal concierge that knows you better than you know yourself.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
And it's not just about convenience.
Okay.
Spatial AI could also have a profound impact on our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
How so?
Well, by creating like a digital representation of the world that's
Yeah.
rich with context and relationships.
Right.
Spatial AI could help us to see patterns and connections that we might otherwise miss. It could lead to new scientific discoveries, new forms of art, even new ways of thinking about the universe.
Whoa. That's a pretty mind-blowing thought.
Yeah.
It's like opening up like a whole new dimension of understanding.
Exactly. And it all starts with this tiny chip.
Wow.
The APU and the vision of companies like GSI and versus AI.
Okay. I'm officially hooked on this spatial AI thing.
Yeah.
But before we get too carried away,
Okay.
let's bring things back down to earth for a minute
Yeah.
and talk about that Army contract again.
All right.
We still don't know exactly what they're planning to do with the APU.
That's true.
Yeah.
But we can make some educated guesses
Yeah.
based on what we know about the APU's capabilities and the military's areas of interest.
All right, let's put on our detective hats and see if we can piece together what the Army might be up to. Okay, so we've got this super fast, energy-efficient chip
Right.
that's perfect for edge AI
Yeah.
and this whole new spatial AI approach.
Yeah.
And the Army's sniffing around,
Right.
but we don't know what they're up to.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a mystery.
It's like a tech mystery.
Yeah.
So give me the rundown. What are some of the military applications where the APU could really shine?
Well, think about the things the Army needs to do.
Yeah.
process massive amounts of data from sensors, make real-time decisions in complex environments, operate in remote locations where power is limited.
Right.
And that's where the APU's strengths come in.
So battlefield intelligence, autonomous vehicles.
Exactly.
Maybe even like those drone swarms that you see in like sci-fi movies.
Yeah, like a drone that can not only navigate a complex environment, but also identify targets, assess threats, and make decisions autonomously.
Wow.
All while running on a tiny, low-power chip.
Yeah.
That's the kind of capability the APU could enable.
That's pretty wild. It's like taking those big clunky AI systems we see in data centers and shrinking them down to fit in a backpack.
Yeah, and remember, the APU isn't just about processing power.
Okay.
It's also about efficiency.
Okay.
So a drone powered by an APU could stay in the air much longer than one that relies on traditional computing hardware.
Okay. Starting to see how this could be a game changer for the military.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about GSI's other potential markets.
Right.
Like those everyday applications that could benefit from edge AI and spatial reasoning.
Absolutely. Think about self-driving cars.
Okay.
They need to process a ton of information in real time to navigate safely.
Right.
And the APU could be the perfect brain for that.
Or imagine a smart home system that can actually understand your habits and preferences.
Right.
Like anticipates your needs before you even ask.
Exactly. That's the kind of personalized experience that spatial AI could unlock.
And it's not just about consumer tech.
Right.
Think about healthcare.
Yeah.
Where the APU could power wearable devices that monitor your health in real time.
Exactly.
Alerting doctors to potential problems before they even become noticeable.
Yeah, so many possibilities.
Wow. This tiny chip really could have a massive impact on our lives. From the battlefield to our homes to our own bodies.
And it's not just about the technology itself. It's about the new possibilities it opens up for how we think about and interact with the world.
That whole paradigm shift thing again, right?
Yeah, moving beyond those big centralized AI systems, embracing a more distributed, intelligent approach.
Okay.
The APU is like a key enabler for that shift.
Okay.
It empowers us to bring intelligence to the edge, where it can be most effective and beneficial.
Okay. I'm convinced.
Okay.
This little chip is a big deal.
Yeah.
But what does this all mean for investors?
Okay.
Should they be jumping on the GSI bandwagon?
Well, as with any investment, there are risks and rewards.
Right.
GSI is a small company facing stiff competition in a rapidly evolving market.
Okay.
But they also have a unique technology with the potential to disrupt the entire AI industry.
So a high risk, high reward kind of situation.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
But for investors who are willing to bet on the future of AI,
GSI is definitely a company to watch.
it's going to be fascinating to see how this all plays out.
Yeah.
Will GSI become like the next big tech giant?
Yeah. Who knows?
Will spatial AI revolutionize the way we live and work?
Yeah. It's hard to say for sure.
Only time will tell.
Exactly.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Okay.
But before we go, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Right.
As AI becomes more powerful and more integrated into our lives,
Right.
it's important to ask ourselves, what kind of future do we want to create with it?
Yeah. That's a great question.
What values do we want to guide its development and use?
Those are important questions.
Yeah.
The future of AI is not predetermined.
Right.
It's up to us to shape it in a way that benefits humanity.
And that's a responsibility we all share.
I agree.
So keep learning.
Yeah.
Keep asking questions.
Exactly.
And keep pushing for an AI future that reflects our best values and aspirations.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. It was my pleasure.
We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration of the ideas and technologies that are shaping our world.